Hi, chat. Did you hear me? Why does that sound like it's playing something else on through that? Welcome, everyone. I am mostly confused why I cannot hear myself in my earbud right now. Let's see here. There we go. I don't know why that was happening. That also wasn't supposed to be playing onto... I guess it probably wasn't picked up by OBS. Anyways, hi chat. Welcome everyone. Yeah, it looked like you could hear me. And it turned out that it was one of my settings on this side that was preventing it from playing in my ear. Welcome everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's hope that we're a little less buggy tonight than last night on Minecraft. I tried out Twitch's enhanced broadcasting thing. I also had it ticked on for the beginning of this stream, but I immediately had so much processing lag and so many issues that I just stopped stream, reset it, and turned it back on. So we're back to the old settings here on stream. Welcome in, everyone. We're working with pork rinds. Pork rinds. I've got both sea salt or pink Himalayan sea salt and sea salt and pepper. We're going to use the plain sea salt with the dessert, which I'm going to be making Muddy Buddies if you're not familiar. They're typically made with like Chex Mix or something along that line. It's a combination of chocolate and peanut butter. You warm it up with a little bit of butter, get it all nice and soft. You coat them all up entirely, and then you coat them in powdered sugar. It's delicious. I haven't tried it with these. I think it'll work lovely with this. I am a little bit worried, as Buns mentioned in the subscriber chat of the Discord. The last time we did pork and peanut butter, it didn't work out so great.
Chefia 1 MSG, Chefia 1 Wiggle, Chefia 1 Wiggle, Chefia 1 Iron.
Thank you for the resub, JK. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Let's get started with some coffee. That was wrong button. And now my transitions are all screwy. So hopefully everyone's had a good start to their week. Well, that's definitely picking up on the mic. Test results. You getting poked and prodded. Cosmic. Welcome in, Buns. Happy to see you, Will. I know we had a few other check-in here. They can see me. Welcome. And yes, thank you for that resub, JK. And with the free Amazon Prime sub. Those are the best ones because people only get one of those. I didn't investigate much. I was a little disturbed in the grocery store today that they had moved the location of my coffee down a little bit. You know, it's not getting the marketing spot anymore. I didn't look what has dethroned it or how much it costs. Not hugely often they can see me. You should buy it every couple of weeks and have it freshly roasted at home. So I do regularly buy it, but I don't really pay attention to how often I pick up a pack, to be honest. As I've said before, I sort of just wait to see them. I buy one or two at a time, and if I'm down to one or less, and it's on sale, I'll pick up some more, because it's typically on sale like at least once a month sort of a thing. Which sort of matches the whole roasting thing, because they'll roast and they'll have a whole bunch of it, and then they have to write out their inventory. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize when it comes to coffee, other than if you're, say, you know, a Dunkin', a Starbucks, you know, some big name that's got enough staff that's going to sit there and analyze and be able to pull in beans year-round from around the world to get a cup that tastes roughly the same. Most roasters are buying beans once a year. They get their green beans in the shipment, and then they slightly tweak their recipe throughout the year to compensate for the fact that the beans are getting older. Because having the bean freshly roasted recently, but not immediately. You're not supposed to drink it immediately after roasting either, which is another thing. But having it roasted closer to enjoying it versus having it a younger green bean is apparently, judging by how the business works, the better way to go. That goes against most everything else I know in cooking, so I don't know if I believe it, but that's what the business is telling me. Yeah, what is going on here, transitions? Let's see if that helps things at all. And this thing is way off center now. Like, look at where I got the cup to get that in the center of that now. I think I want you more around here. So we're gonna fix that scene here real quick. The cameras all get out of whack a little, regardless how much I try and set my standards so that if it works in one camera scene, it should work in all of the camera scenes. It never stays true. Things shift, things move. I move the cutting board around all the time. And, you know, gravity works on things over time, on the camera stands and all that. So even without anything going wrong, there's constant maintenance. Like, for some reason, my main camera decided to stop following me there. Thank you for joining in with me, everyone. I hope you've had a great start to your week. Let's have some fun with pork rinds. Cheers. A gratin. Us Americans may think of it more like a casserole, but it's like a melted cheesy casserole. Well, it's like a melty cheesy gratin baked dish. I don't want to use casserole because I hate that term, and whenever someone says the term casserole, it's like Aunt Sue's disgusting. Well, it's not going to be thin sliced anything for this. Let's start by breaking leaves off of our head of cauliflower here. I did not. I went to Oliver's today. Even though I do not have a great love for Oliver's. So please do not take that as an advertisement. Yeah, Oliver's is a Sonoma County thing. At least as far as I know, they're only in Sonoma County. They've got 5 spots in the county? If you want to keep that and juice it or turn it into soup, be my guest. We're going to break them down into this being about the largest size that I want. How would you get... Huh? Over 100 degrees again today. Yeah, over here. Even though chat can't see Mr. Wiggles is not cooperating tonight. But I pay attention to Mr. Wiggles because Mr. Wiggles is on the recording. It's sort of weird. I must have an attraction to people in the Midwest. Like, we've got how many people in Ohio and Michigan now? You paying travel fees, Buns? No, I turn out like cauliflower and cheese soup. I beg to differ. I like Sonoma. Yeah, I was there a couple of Septembers ago. Last September? September before that? I posted all sorts of photos. Yeah, I need to go in there and take out all of the text from the last couple of months. I think it looks a lot better. Like, it's cool that people are chatting in the memes thing, but when it comes to, you know, a month later and people wanting to just go through the memes, the chat is... I welcome any memes that you want to add. I would also welcome doing, like, if we got artists in here or makers of their own rights. Would love to showcase other people's works too. All right, so we're gonna start getting some water boiling here, and I'm going to poach all of this cauliflower. No, it's going to be a couple batches. That's fine. Guess we can't have the cauliflower on there still. You diapers. Yummy. I mean, how can you go wrong with fried balls of rice? I didn't quite hit that joint right. Oh well. How much do I estimate I'll save? Marginally. Like, it's sort of like the memes. How to save and make money. Save $5 on your coffee every day. It's more of a, I like making my chicken stock. I like knowing exactly where my food comes from, and the quality. It's many things other than, like, I am not that much of an economist type to sit there and calculate that out. It's more like I've done some round figures here and there and been like, yeah, that's the cheaper way to go, and that's the way I'd like to do it, so yeah. Well, that sort of comes down to, I could go even further, but that price is, like, that's going from Mary's organic to local pasture, where I know where it was harvested, because otherwise they legally don't have to, and they don't. Not making soup. Yep. Carcass is going to save for next round of stock in a couple months. Along with these wings and these bones. And these bones. Not my best thine wing cleaning there, but it'll do for tonight. Wow. Skin is attached there. Trying to pull majority of those tendons out of the meat. I will live with that one. And take the bone chip out of here. If I had all the money, I'd have someone have a farm for me. At the same time, I'm not really interested in the business of figuring, like, from my outside perspective, most of farming is doing something cheap as cheaply as possible to begin with. And so you don't have money for maintenance, you don't have money for new tractors. At best, you've got money for the cheapest water you can find to keep your plants alive. And that's not a business that I want to get into. But I do want to know where my food comes from. Like, at the same time, like, I'm sort of cool with some of the ideas of farming. Like, I wouldn't mind having myself an apple or a stone fruit orchard. Because that is work, and that is, again, some of the same thing. Like, you don't have money for your tractors or anything. But, not that you can modify your tractors if you bought one these days either. But it's more along the lines of a yearly project thing of a month or two that keep busy. I'm obviously not worried about keeping our chicken in nice, clean chunks with this, as I'm essentially just shredding it, pulling it away from the tendons in the leg. I'm just going to get rid of that. There's other techniques for getting rid of the tendons that people use. None of them have really worked well for me. Some people like just using like the fish tweezers I have, or something nice and like even like a pair of needle nose pliers they use only for food. We hope, and pull them out of the leg before you clean up the leg, but. Good question, they can see me. If you give me a moment, I'll look it up. I lost my link. I have to look it up. So we got at least mildly warm water behind me. So we'll start poaching our... let's give that a moment longer. I hate doing this to the lid, steaming the lid like this, but we're going to steam the lid for a moment and get that really boiling so we can go with our poaching. Let's get the chicken done while we're waiting on that. I'm going to save one of these chicken breasts for something. I don't know what in the future. And the rest of this is going to go in our gratin. Those are all small enough. I hear you, water. Give me 20 seconds. And another 20 seconds to wash my hands. That wasn't 20 seconds, but we're gonna live with it. Ooh, I didn't turn my holiday decoration on. Not that I have other decorations I might put up later, but not quite. It's a little early, but it's sort of like, I sort of think of October 1st as, the go-ahead for putting everything out. And there's some other streamers that have already got, everything out. I think I'm more in the camp to slowly add a few things here and there. I didn't get to it, but I debated bringing out the cobweb. Sorry for the loudness here in a sec. I think that was actually quieter than I expected. Hi, Bonds. Alright, so these have gotten enough time. I think they're looking... Yeah, I think we're okay with that. They're going to get a little bit more of a bake in the finished product, but we want to at least get them started here. Then we're going straight back into an ice bath. So those are all already nice and cold once again. But that was only about half of our cauliflower. Hi, Will. Were you here earlier, Will? Maybe I'm just always used to you being here first thing. Ooh. Well, hopefully everything's okay. Ad time. Hey subs, how you doing tonight? Hey subscribers, how you doing tonight? We're just waiting on that water to reheat. I'm so confused now. Not that it's any different from any other time. I'm always confused. It's just a matter of what. Financier is really important in the culinary world. Hey, Climb. We'll give those a moment longer. Welcome, welcome. We're working with pork rinds tonight. I haven't quite gotten through all of it here, but tonight's one of those rare nights where we're actually starting savory because I can do the sweet part while the savory's baking. Usually it's the sweet part that needs to be baked. There's a joke there somewhere. Heat back onto the pan just to dry it out. Don't want to leave water in your cast iron. I should get some proper water since we had to hydrate a while ago. And I just took a sip of coffee instead of like properly drinking something. Oh, by the way, I'm seeing now on camera. Actually, I don't think chat saw it on camera. But the back definitely saw it. Has anyone seen these before? I'm not really interested in selling the brand, but packaged chicken skin crisps. Like, I want that to be amazing, but I'm expecting it to be a letdown. Actually, we're still using these pans. Well, at least this one. Well, it's most package problems. The problem with them being package problems is the packaging, such as these epic pork rinds. I'm worried about these. I got them from a different location, but I have bought them before from a place that I think they see greater than normal temperature swings, i.e. they're left outside practically. And they were not good at all. Like the texture, like it's a fried product. It's designed to be fried and eaten right then. It's not, let's package it and keep it on a grocery store shelf for a month. I think a fair number of people would agree with that statement. I think a fair number of people also think they're bad for you. I'm not so convinced of that one, but I'm not a doctor. That was a bad cut there in the center. I'm curious, chat. How many people out there have a subscription to OpenAI or Claude AI? Or use Copilot all the time? Is my chat beginning to depend upon AI yet, or... I'm on the edge of getting a subscription, but it's entirely the way that they designed to hook you in. You get into projects, you get into using them, and you use them for most of the day. You get 90% of the way, which I'm sure they know, 90% of the way towards finishing your project or whatever, and then, you've used up your credits for the day. Now, either switch to a different model, make your own model, which I forget who it was. Someone used to talk to me about all sorts of tech stuff like that and was ecstatic about building their own one. I don't think I've seen them for a bit. It's sort of strange. I mean, I understand people come and go, but let's see. We do have a little garlic. And so, much like with the TV subscriptions, it's almost like they're trying to hook you in, but only for like a month, and then get you on the subscription when you don't really use the service. But I've been trying to work and learn on my C sharp coding ability, which is oddly and strangely just sort of like the next gen of what I've always been studying in programming. I've always been into web design stuff, and so like I've always been using the .NET stuff, and now I'm using it to code stuff for the bots. Oh, hey, let's switch that view here. At least for the moment. Till we get all that garlic all chopped up. We need to do cheese first. I need some cheese, please. Boo. I'll take it. It's not what I wanted, though. I mistakenly bought jack cheese when I wanted I mistakenly bought pepper jack cheese when I just wanted jack cheese. That just means things will be a little spicier. I was only planning on using half of this thing, but I don't want anything to do with pepper jack, so we're getting rid of this. I don't mind spice in my cheese at all. I can't stand how it always ends up like, you know, it's just like cheese with the skins. Like, it's not an enjoyable part of the pepper to me. The skins and the seeds, which you get both, and like, you would think they have gotten rid of the seeds by the time it made it into the cheese. Sunflower oil in the pan. Not hearing a sizzle, but I see one. Onion. I would consider the onion in this dish optional. You definitely want the garlic in there. If I wasn't doing the onion, I'd probably sear the chicken first and then do the garlic and then finish the sauce. But since I have the onion in there to sort of help insulate the garlic for the cooking, put that in there first. Give those a healthy sprinkle of salt. I'm not sure my doctor would call it a healthy sprinkle. Though I don't think my doctor has a clue. I hate our medical system, Chop. Yes, let's blame the electrolytes. I have no idea what that was referring to. Not looking to get a ton of color on these. We just want to get them nicely cooked through. Sweat them through nicely. Make them nice and soft. Release all their juices. Oh, chick. That fits perfectly. We're going to add a little lemon juice in here. Little soy sauce. I forgot I'm out of Worcestershire, otherwise I would have put a splash of Worcestershire in there. Turn that flame down nice and low. And adding in a bunch of cream all at once. And kick the heat back up. Add in our chicken first. You can choose to feel free to sear and brown the chicken if you want. It is going to make a brown gratin then, though. Just if you don't care if your gratin's a little more brown, it's going to change the texture too, because you'll have the seared areas which will have cooked further and faster than the insides. I'm gonna see if I can find some quail eggs for Friday, chat. I don't know anywhere here that, I've seen them in stores in the past. I don't remember where I have seen them being sold. But I'm thinking of doing chicken and egg tacos on Friday. Well, it's actually been on the calendar since before TwitchCon. but chicken and egg tacos, and I was thinking quail eggs might be the perfect cute little sunny side egg up for on top of a taco. So we're bringing this up to heat together. Going to add a touch of cayenne. Actually, I'm going to do less cayenne now since we have the pepper jack, but if you don't have pepper jack in your mix, feel free to add some cayenne. We're starting to get there with our temp. I'm starting to get a few bubbles here and there. And so now I think it's time to add the cheese in there. Cheese. 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 I don't know what compelled me to do that for you, chat, but, you know, I hope you enjoyed. I think I'm going to add a touch of water to this as well. Mostly to compensate for bake time. I'm gonna hit that with some more pepper. More salt. MSG. Let me take our chilled cauliflower. That looks delicious other than the fact that the chicken isn't cooked yet. Awesome, JK. Glad you got that. Yeah, I hadn't quite figured out how to print things on heavy paper. Got that one figured out now. Now we're going to add all of this loveliness into our casserole dish. Hey, ready, Patty? Alright, so we got that done. To that point. I've put this off as long as I think I possibly can. We're turning the oven on. We'll let that equal out a little bit there. And it's finally time to deal with some pork rinds. Happy Wednesday to all of those maybe just joining in. Having to get creative here with bags tonight, chat. Well, these are salt and pepper pork rinds. They certainly look pepper. They got some crunch. I don't want to completely pulverize them. That's actually for a couple of reasons. First off, I don't want them to get all soggy. But I also want a little crunch if I can get that still. So we're going to take that. Our scramble master is not in here tonight. So we're going to take these lovely pork rinds that I've crushed up into nice chunky consistency, and I'm going to add a whole bunch of cheapo Parmesan. And that is what I am going to use for our topping. I actually need some salt and, well, I don't know if we do need any salt in there. I was going to say we need some salt and pepper in there without thinking, oh yeah, salt and pepper pork rinds. And they're pretty heavily salted and peppered. So I think we're going to be okay without that. So back over to our gratin. I am going to grab the spatula and do a little, try and flatten it out a little bit. I mean, it's just got a little character, it's just a little character, but and that was dirty raw chicken in there still, so that spatula went straight in the sink. And this is not enough topping for this, I don't think. Yeah, I think we need another bag of pork rinds for this coating. Get back your bag. More crunching sounds. Mixing the last of that Parmesan that was still in the bowl with it. So there is our dinner for tonight, ready to go in the oven when the oven is up to temp. It's not quite there yet. This is going to get a bake at 375 to start. I'm going to give it 30 minutes at 375. I'm going to drop it down to 325 and maybe another 20 minutes. How much food do I throw out as a single eater? I don't know. Not a lot. Usually it's the stuff that just doesn't go well or I just don't really end up liking after all. I mean, I think we all have our, fruit that we buy and let go bad in the fridge sort of a thing. Well, that is dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, dinner tomorrow, maybe lunch on Friday. Let's see what their baked pork rinds are like here, chat. The sea salt baked ones versus these are the fried salt and pepper ones. Those are the real ones. Those look pretty puffy for being baked. Nice size to them, though. They look larger than the other ones were. The fried ones, yes, always the half bag. I think there's a meme in the memes. We were talking about the memes channel earlier. I think there's a meme in the memes channel where someone in an interview is asking the interviewee if a glass is half full or half empty. And the interviewee responds, "Isn't that full?" And then they zoom out to Frito-Lay, and the guy loves it, sort of a thing. Oh, it absolutely is, JK. If you look into all the stuff they do at, like, Frito-Lay, it's quite amazing the technology that they've developed specifically just for handling, like, chips and stuff like that. Like, if you watch, like, the how it's made thing on, like, Frito-Lay or something, like, and the scale of things, like, they just hook up trailers and lift the whole trailer and just dump the whole trailer out at once, sort of a thing. And they also have conveyor belts. When their conveyor belts are moving the chips along, they purposely bounce the chips, because bouncing the chips breaks them less. Pringles are, like, Pringles aren't an actual chip in my mind. They're delicious. And they're probably one of the first to market of using, like, dehy to make a potato chip. The reason I say they're not a real potato is they aren't taking, like, slices of potato. What they're doing is essentially, like, molding a potato chip. They're making, like, a potato chip dough. It's like they've made flat slices. It's like they took a gnocchi dough and have extruded it into chip-like shapes and fried it. But that said, Pringles are most certainly an acceptable snack choice. It sounds like I was disapproving of them. I'm just calling them not a chip. What's everyone's favorite Pringles flavor? Like, they have some of the same flavors, but they got some of their own flavors too. I guess it doesn't have to be Pringles. It could be any of them. They can see me. That's sort of strange. They can see me because, and I'll tell you why it's strange. Because you're not strange, but I'm strange. Typically, I like the plain Jane options. Like, I want vanilla ice cream with just some cinnamon and sugar on top, or a very simple ice cream with a very simple mix-in. And so, like, but when it comes to potato chips, I want all the weird and interesting flavors. I want to try them out. That was actually one of the concepts I was kicking around for a business at one point, was buying my own, they have these, like, scientific dehydrators that essentially dehydrate things in air so that you can, like, dehydrate powders. Like, it's sort of like it's almost like a hot, if anyone's familiar with the old popcorn poppers that use hot air, it's sort of like that, but for dry dehydrating stuff. And I wanted to make all sorts of different, I wanted to buy one of these super expensive dehydrators and do all sorts of stuff and all sorts of freaky and interesting flavors on stuff. I later learned, toying with my normal dehydrator here that you really need the food science to do that, because the dehydrated flavors are it just doesn't carry. Or you got to use so much of something that it's incredibly expensive in order to pull the flavor out of it. And I don't have the money for my own Ibuli or Noma test kitchen to, figure out exactly, how much I need of this and that. Our oven's up to temp, so casserole, we're going to use a sheet pan with some parchment just as a spill protection. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pizza flavor on things. They never get pizza flavor right. I don't think that I've had salt and vinegar Pringles before. I like salt and pepper or salt and vinegar chips, but they're never the one that I pick up. Like, quite often they're like the best flavor when it comes to like the kettle flavors of chips. But is it the one I'm gonna? No, I never buy it. I don't know why that. Really? I don't love the texture of pork rinds. They sort of have, like, you compare a pork rind to a corn cheese poof, and there's some texture there to a pork rind that I don't love. It's almost like akin to the kernel in popcorn. So anyways, these are going to be our Muddy Buddy pork rinds. Did I throw you in there, or did I throw you over here? I have a tendency to just throw peanut butter in the refrigerator, and I think that's what I did. Wait, the peanut butter made it home, didn't it? Did the same thing I did the other day with the panko. I hid it behind the flour. Yeah, peanut butter doesn't need to be refrigerated. And I'm just going to guesstimate on how much butter, peanut butter, and chocolate we need to do this. I'm not following a recipe, I'm just guessing. Oh, I didn't set a timer here. Let's set a timer. Timer is set for 25 minutes. No. Especially since I'm potentially slightly allergic to it. I almost put that in the fridge, chat. Chocolate, peanut butter. I'm going to mix the chocolate in there just so that it's a part of the overall mixture. I don't want to scorch the chocolate melting this. According to a doctor's report, it's never really given me any issues. And the doctor's report said the level that it was like near lowest that they actually detect. And it was a blood test. It wasn't a proper allergen test, where a blood test is very much affected. I don't remember what I was eating before I took that test, but stuff stays in your system for days, if not weeks, and the things that your system is currently dealing with can affect your allergen blood test. Dope! I heard the ad thing too. Hi, subscribers. And give that 30 seconds in the microwave. Give it a stir, another 30 seconds. Might not need the second 30 seconds. It's sort of sad that I'm using the microwave during one of my favorite songs in this playlist. Yeah, that was probably enough. I might give this another 10 seconds just to loosen it up to pour. I think that was enough to... Do I do Reese's Cups? I haven't had a Reese's Cups in ages, but I like Reese's Cups. I used to really like Reese's. Like, Reese's Pieces are like my candy of choice for the movie theater. Welcome, Martin. Now we start in with all the powdered sugar. Yeah, but it's also powdered sugar. This stuff basically dissolves. We're going to let that sit for a moment and chill out a little bit. Now, is it this bowl you want to lick, Justice Rise? Or is it this one? This is commonly done in a bag, by the way, chat. And probably save on a little bit of sugar, at least the sugar that's flying away in the air here. Sugar's what makes it good, they can see me. Out of curiosity, they can see me. If you've got an issue with what I'm making, why are you here? I'm mostly saying that because I've been told I can't eat this or that, or I should try this or that diet, or you need to do this or that my entire fucking life. And it is the last thing I give a shit about. That's going to take some more work, and I can't do that on stream because that's going to drive y'all nuts making noise. Trying our best not to crush these. I am crushing some of them. The chocolate gets to a point where it starts sticking and pulling, and it pulls more than... Yeah. And it probably isn't a decent choice for it when it comes to this, because it's chocolate and peanut butter and whatever you're coating it with, and so it's not just a pure, like, the problem with wax with chocolate is it sort of dumbs down the chocolate, but here it would probably be a good choice for getting a better texture. This would also be better if it wasn't like 100 degrees here, and I just threw it in the fridge for a little bit. In the fridge up there for a little bit. Peanut butter chocolate. MSG, my favorite ingredient. No. I don't know if I have a favorite ingredient. Maybe salt? I'd like too many sweet things for MSG to be my favorite ingredient. I don't know if you heard that, but I just cracked my back. It felt really good. What's with the MSG emote? MSG has a very bad... Well, at least in recent years, there's been a lot of effort by many people, including myself, to kill MSG's bad name. But here's a better explanation. Mostly the second message there. Essentially what we had happen was in the 70s, so now we're getting 50s, but like late 70s, you had articles and studies that weren't very scientific studies by modern standards. I forget what it was either a small sample size or a huge amount of MSG for what normal people would consume, something like that, got published. And that, along with it being tied, even though it's been used in all sorts of cuisines and all sorts of foods all over the place, it get tied into Chinese food restaurants here in the US. And, you know, even without it being, even if people were not racist against Chinese, you're going to an Oriental, especially in the 70s, 80s, 90s, an Oriental restaurant with this whole, you know, and so they got linked to being sort of a racist thing linked to Chinese restaurants and Chinese food. And, you know, you have all sorts of people claiming that it gives them headaches and they're allergic to it and all sorts of other things that don't scientifically make sense, or that blind studies show to be completely untrue. The only place I've seen it is on Facebook, unfortunately, and I haven't figured out how I can extract it. There's a great video with David Chang, the chef that started Momofuku, doing, like, polling a bunch of people in, like, a classroom, chat room talk, and asking them their thoughts on MSG, and all of them complaining and hating it, and then offering them all snacks with MSG in them, like things like in the list there, like Doritos and cheese puffs, and they were all just sitting there, you know, going to town on all that stuff without realizing. I think it's certainly making a comeback with, at least with the TikTok generation. I've been reading stories, and I posted a story not too long ago about one of the Northern European countries with no one that lives there, but they're all rich, being out of cucumbers because of the TikTok cucumber salad trend with MSG in it. I think it's very much a generational thing at this point. Those that were around in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and whether they were a part of that or not, were trained that and haven't learned the opposite. I ate some cheesy poofs last night. It was the first time I had bought a bag of cheesy poofs in a long time. And it's probably going to be a while before I buy another one. Much more likely to get myself another bag of cheddar and sour cream Ruffles. They seem to be like... I end up on the chip aisle, that ends up being what's in my cart. How's my week gone? The depression's been hitting pretty hard this week. I've been struggling to get going all this week. Hey, Makawaka! And when I say that, I don't mean like I've been sad and upset. I've sort of realized at this point, after, analyzing myself over time, it makes me feel like I'm tired. It makes me not want to do anything. I got back from TwitchCon and I was all sorts of motivated and had all sorts of ideas and so much stuff I was going to do. And I have been toying with all sorts of stuff on this computer since then. But the last couple of days, a lot of that just motivation is just sapped out of me, just gone. That, or it gets, for me, things that I can do can become perceptively too difficult than they should be. I don't know if that's probably as clear as mud to chat, but for those just joining in, we're working with pork rinds tonight. However, we don't got much food out here for everyone to see right now. We've got casserole or a gratin in the oven, which I'm just about to reset the timer for and change the temperature. It's been in there for 25 to 30 minutes at 375, and I'm now dropping it down to 325. And what that is our gratin is a combination of pepper jack cheese, heavy cream, onions, garlic, a little bit of cayenne, chicken, and blanched cauliflower. And then I have topped that with crushed, since pork rinds are our ingredient challenge tonight, that's topped with a combination of crushed pork rinds and Parmesan cheese. And then in the refrigerator, we've got our Muddy Buddy pork rinds that need another tossing. Yeah, the chilling was... You see how some of that sugar is surviving now? It was too hot in here to be trying to put the sugar on there and have it work before. Almost out of sugar in my shaker. Looks a little like sugar. It was shaking like I had some rocks or pebbles in there, which is possible, but... You went out there, looked how they make standard granulated sugar before? It's one of those things that amazes me with the scale of things. You look at the commercial production of salt, commercial production of sugar, and the way they do things just in order to do it cheaply and in large production. They essentially grow large fields of sugarcane, and then they'll burn them, collect them up with like heavy harvesters, you know, like mining equipment. Or if you look how, I'm forgetting which of the major salt companies it is. I want to say Cargill. Cargill has a sea salt production in the San Francisco area where you can see them with just the massive areas of salt. And you see them harvest sea salt. And at least I'm a bit like, are you serious? That's what you're serving us? That's what you're selling us? You know, because they're essentially bringing in giant amounts of water and then using the sun to evaporate it down to just leaving the salt. But then they're taking, like, you know, heavy mining equipment again, like giant loaders and that, to essentially just scrape it up off of the ground. And so, a large, it's getting, you sort of hope that they've got like a buildup of salt there between the dirt and what they're scraping up, but it doesn't really look like it. It's safe, right? It's been bleached. Anyone got any exciting plans for what they're going to dress up like this year? Someone asked me that the other stream. I think it was Buns. And it was a stick in the mud. I was, nah. And I'm not really planning on dressing up as anything, but I do like Halloween. I just sit around home, and so it doesn't make sense to spend money on costume no one going to see. I have a decoration out. No, I don't get trick-or-treaters here. Little too much out in the country. If you like candy corn, now is the time to buy candy corn, though, because you need it when it's fresh. It's best when it's fresh. I endorse candy corn. I do not endorse shellac, which is on candy corn. You know, shellac, that stuff they... Shellac. Yeah. What do I do with this leftover peanut butter and chocolate, chat? It's such a burden. And throw it in the fridge. Hopefully it's got enough butter in it that it doesn't completely harden. I'm wondering if JK is looking up what shellac is, if it's actually in candy corn. I'm not shipping it to Ohio. They can see me. That's the long. It's not going to be very good by then. It's got butter in it. I'm sure Buns wants it though. You should have your patches soon, Buns. I sent them the same time that I sent out the envelope to JK. So, JK got his envelope, so you should have yours soon here, too. Blame the Postal Service. I don't know why I'm saying that. I like that we have the Postal Service in our country. I'm not for outsourcing it. We still got another 10 minutes here on this gratin. I think I'm going to do a little bit of an AFK here, chat. We'll do some old school ads here for this 10 minutes here, and we'll come back and plate up a dish of our cauliflower chicken pork rind gratin. And we'll try out some Muddy Buddies. Maybe with some more powdered sugar. So I'll see all your lovely faces here in, let's say, 9 minutes.
What are you doing here? You ought to be outside with the rest of the kids.
This is where Thanksgiving really begins, isn't it, Edgar?
Well, now, if you're referring to the aroma of roast turkey, I concur.
No, Ray, I was talking about the kitchen. It looks like a real center of hospitality.
Did you say hospitality?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we're always prepared for around here. Help yourself.
Wouldn't this be a good time for you and your guests to have Coca-Cola too?
Yes, and Coca-Cola is so delicious, so refreshing, so tempting to any guest when you bring out those familiar bottles with tiny beads of moisture running down their frosty sides, assuring you that the Coke inside is really ice cold. And the good, the gracious, the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality, not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day all the year around, no matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in. And one of the easiest, simplest, and surest ways in the world to be prepared for hospitality is to have plenty of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, ice cold and ready to serve all the time. It's a wonderful way to say to folks, so glad you came. Welcome anytime.
Now, class, Mr. Tiger will show us how Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes cereal starts out.
Is the flake field?
It's a cornfield. Kellogg's toast corn into golden flakes and adds a secret frosting. Helps keep them extra crunchy and delicious. It's part of your good breakfast and tastes.
I know, girl. with Tony, and you'll discover why it's great.
Mr. Tiger, you're wonderful.
Oh, shucks.
If you're still watching television on a small screen set, you're missing a lot. Here, for example, is a close-up on a 10-inch set. See how much smaller it is than my head? Now I'd like to show you the same close-up on a 21-inch set. There. Just look at the difference. She's as big as I am now. You can have big screen close-ups just like that. Close-ups as large as life with RCA Victor's great new 21-inch model, the Master 21. At the lowest 21-inch price in RCA Victor history, as little as $199.95. Visit your RCA Victor dealer soon. See television's greatest value, the Master 21. Big screen 21-inch quality TV for $199.95. And remember, every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other television.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
Say, do you remember this old milk glass satin hen? Well, you know, milk glass was an early American favorite. And when the folks in the old days wanted something really delightful, they'd take one of their milk glass goblets and pour some very fine wine right into it. Well, now, you know, it's Welch's wine that is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's family wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice, and everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense, then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, you insist on Welch's family wine? You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size. You enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
Have for years. But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
Daddy! Gee, Mom was counting on that Jell-O cake for Johnny's Scout meeting tomorrow. Okay, Daddy. It's so easy to make a cake with Betty Crocker cake mix. I'll make her another one. White cake, devil's food, yellow cake.
It's a good thing her mom's modern. I'm Betty Crocker. With my yellow cake mix, all you do is add water and a couple of fresh eggs. The other ingredients are in the package. Same fine things you'd use right in your own home. You'll get a perfect cake just like this, or write General Mills, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they'll send your money back. A high cake, a light cake, a better tasting cake.
And don't think it isn't. That's why Betty Crocker herself says,
I guarantee a perfect cake every time you bake, cake after cake after cake.
Here's an amazing free offer for everyone who's overweight. Even if you've tried other methods and failed, you can still lose ugly fat fast. Yes, thousands can tell you that calometric control is the only safe, sure, effective way to reduce. Now, this package contains the Wonder 10-Day Diet that gives you 3 delicious meals a day, plus a bedtime snack, even includes a jog for your willpower. Yet you take only 3 calometric tablets a day. And here's the sensational free offer. A 30-day supply of wonderful calometric tablets. A certified $3.50 value when you buy the regular calometric way to weight control. You save $3.50. Now, that's a $7 value for only $3.50. A 50% saving. And how can you get your free bottle of calometric tablets? Well, just send in this calometric box top with your name and address. Your druggist will give you a postage-paid envelope already addressed to the calometric company. Now, don't lose hope, lose weight. Get calometric reducing formula at your drugstore. Send the box top in the free postage-paid envelope. Get your $3.50 bottle of calometric tablets free. Don't wait, act now.
When you have a Labatt's, you have an adventure. Canadian Light, that's Labatt's. It's a great new taste in beer. Enjoy import quality at USA prices. Have an adventure. Have a Labatt's.
3, 2, 1, blast off. She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Count down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as the giant Atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
And now, from the popular comic strip Peanuts, here are Charlie...
Hi, chat. Here's Charlie Brown and Chef. Well, that was a beeper for our lovely dinner tonight. From when I was a kid. Well, I don't know if I'm that old. I mean, I'm old, chat, but am I that old? That is looking yummy. I think we're good with that. I think we're good with this, chat. Almost wish I had left it in 375 the whole time. Oh, hey, music. We can turn music back on. And so we got some meltage of the pork rinds around the sides there. And we got some nice colorage of the... I'm assuming that's the cheese. It's those little speckles of golden brown in there. That is out of sugar. Nope, those are ready to go as soon as I get them nicely coated with sugar. Do I have an open bag of sugar? I don't see one. No, there's no real reason to bake that dessert. I mean, it's chocolate, so you don't want to shock it too much. What you got, Buns? Nice. Nice. Hey, Ty. Like, there's some love in having some clumps there, but at the same time, I also want to break them apart too, and so you're going to make your own call on how clumpy you want this. But from here, I mean, this is never going to be a... That's delicious. I was going to say, this is never going to be a clean-to-eat food. I mean, it's covered in powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar is what's keeping it from being even more of a mess. But I think this is actually a level up on the normal Muddy Buddies, which are done with Chex Mix or some other crunchy snack food. But yeah, those are delicious. Pork works great with that. The flavor works in there great. It is not like the other one where, like, the amount of peanut butter there is distinctive enough that it's not being hidden like it's pork fat in a cookie. I have not had chocolate-covered bugles. That sounds like a good time. What do I put those on to take a photo of them with? Cadbury mini eggs is another one, or Cadbury eggs. I've heard those used in several recipes before that I've never really touched because, I don't know, I'm a little like, you're just going to melt down the whole egg? I mean, I know it's a little more than sugar, coloring, and chocolate, maybe some wax. But still. Get some muddy buddy photos here. Let's go for... Is that... Oh, it's down... Yeah. I have. They're delicious. I have a feeling this is going to be amazing too. But I suspect it's going to be a little bit like adding a little bacon flavor to something. Or mixing a little bacon in to something, because I think it's just going to give like a hint of pork. Well, let's take a photo with everything together. There we have it, chat. The sauce didn't thicken up as much as I would have liked, but I'm certain this is going to still be quite delicious. I mean, how can it not be when that sauce is pretty much just cream and cheese? You can see there was a little bit of cheesiness there when I pulled that off. This is gonna be a good time. It keeps falling off my fork, so it's cooked. Winner even if you don't like cauliflower. Like, big winner even if you don't like cauliflower. That is delicious. I'm going to enjoy every bit of this. I am going to actually raid out tonight, chat. I am going to send all you lovely folks off to go hang out with another group that previously raided us. I'm going to send you all to go hang out with PJG Gaming, which is a couple that does various things. They do a little bit of everything when it comes to the streaming world. And they're doing some puzzle work tonight. Like actual physical IRL jigsaw puzzle. So I hope you enjoy hanging out with them. I'm going to call it right now and I'm going to go and eat this. I hope you all have an amazing evening. I hope to see you back here on Friday. Good night.